fans, do you want to win your share of $100,000? Simply enter the houseofboxing.com Fight Night Prediction Challenge. Compete with boxing fans around the world. Simply head over to houseofboxing.com and sign up now.
This is Charlie Parsons for Boxing Social in association with William Hill and Empire Fight Store. Delighted to be joined. Callum Walton 2-0. How are you, mate?
Good, thanks. For you?
Yeah, good. Thank you, brother. Let's talk a little bit fighting this week. Obviously now your third fight going into this one. Excited, everything?
Yeah, third professional fight Saturday night. Really looking forward to it, to be fair. Probably the best I felt going into a fight. First step up to 6 rounds as well, so should be a good one.
But you've got the pink top on. You're sponsored by Empire. What
Yeah.
great people to have backing you, by the way. I mean, a real sort of staple in British boxing at the minute, both sponsoring and managing you. To have the support of those guys, that must be brilliant.
Yeah, man, it's been unreal, to be fair. Like, I signed with Empire, obviously in a management deal. They sponsor me as well, but they've just, every single thing that they said they were going to do for me, they've done. So, got nothing but great things to say about Empire. Great people.
Moving forward with people like that in your corner, you believe that that's the backing that you deserve to sort of get yourself to the highest levels?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, like you say yourself, you see Empire everywhere now in British boxing. I think Jamie's probably one of the most well-connected people in boxing. So
Yeah.
I think there's no one better to guide my career, really.
Well, let's talk a little bit about yourself. First time fighting someone with a winning record, like you say, moving up to 6 rounds. You feel like this is sort of what we need to see more of on a small hall scale as well, just stepping into fights with a lot of even records and being tested from early.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think obviously it depends on previous experience. I had 30 odd amateur fights, so a decent background, but not a massive extensive background. I mean, people, they're charging a lot of money for tickets, and people don't want to come watch glorified spars. They want to come watch competitive boxing. So, I mean, I just feel obliged to do that, you know.
Is it important to give back? Obviously, like you say, picking up on that, there are so many shows at the minute, and like you say, glorified sparring, you're sort of in there with someone who is not there to lose, but sort of showcase a little bit of what they've got. But at the end of the day, to not get hurt and make sure they're going out the ring to fight next week, you think this will sort of bring out an extra edge in you?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I've obviously had 2 so far, 1 stoppage. I don't feel like either of my fights so far have been glorified spars, which has been good for me. Obviously, like I say, people are paying to come watch money, so you don't want to waste their money by having a glorified spar. So I think it'll bring an extra edge in me, knowing that the person in front of me's got that undefeated record. They've got a winning record, but most importantly undefeated. So I think that'll add a bit extra of an edge. Yeah, definitely.
Boxing's booming up in the northeast. Let's talk a little bit about that. I mean, when you just talk from sort of almost like the next gen matchroom shows to the sort of how many small hall shows there are going on, it seems like a real good period and an exciting time to be involved up there.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think the scene locally has gone through a lot of peaks and troughs. You know, like obviously Josh Kelly came through, Lewis Ritson won the British title in record time, like, and then it kind of went really quiet for a couple of years, and now I think there's another resurgence. So I'm hoping that it's only going to be good for us local boxers to get on good undercards, make good impressions ourselves, and get ourselves in good spotlights. So
Let's talk a bit about you and your background. When did you first lace up the gloves? You said you've had about 30 amateur fights, but not a decorated by amateur by any means. Now, sort of doing it, learning, having to sort of start on the small hall shows. Want to talk a little bit about sort of how it came to fruition for you?
yeah, I mean, I was always from about 12, 13, I used to train like boxing on the side of football just as a bit of extra fitness. For years, I trained, like, never really was interested in competing. I always had braces, so I never really sparred. I was a bit scared of getting my braces knocked out. So I trained from maybe 13 to 18 without really, like, ever sparring, ever competing. I then was about 20 and I thought, right, I want to give it a go. I want to see what it's like. So I've had my first bout, I think, at 20. I had 5 unlicensed fights. And then I went into the amateur scene under Brandon Boxing Club, had 32, 33 in about 4 or 5 years. So I had a lot in quick succession. And then I just kind of always had the aim of turning pro. I just knew that the amateur scene was like almost like an apprenticeship. That's where you gain the experience, gain the exposure of like You fight every different style, tall, small, short, rangy. I just wanted to cover every single basis before I went into the pros. I did make it to the ABS semi-finals as well, which obviously is a really good achievement. I won, I think, 3 Northeast titles as well, like area titles. I won the ABAs for the area, the developments for the area. So I did achieve quite a lot in a short space of time, which I thought was good. I just felt like once I'd got to the semi-final of the ABAs, I felt like I'd covered every style, every basis, and I was ready to go into the pro game, which is effectively what you start out to do. I think, well, what I started out to do. I think you grow up watching professional boxing, you don't necessarily aim to
Yeah.
be an elite amateur. You know what I mean?
Let me sort of touch on that. You talk about it sort of being almost like an apprenticeship, and that's true, but a long apprenticeship at that. You find yourself now, you've made your debut this year, you're 28 years of age. Do you feel like sort of you've got to move? I mean, you've been quite active. This is your third fight this year already, making
Yeah.
your pro debut in March. You feel like now sort of the opportunity to really push on, get a big 2024 under your belt, and then start looking at titles and stuff?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like you say, I've had quite a nice busy start, which is exactly what I wanted. I told Empire and Jamie that I wanted to do that, and they've done that. They've backed me in every show that I've been on. It would have been 4, to be fair. I was supposed to box in July as well, but I took ill about 2 weeks before the fight. So I've had, like you say, since March. This is my third fight. Maybe get another one in before the end of the year, but I'm hoping within a calendar year to have had 4 or 5 by the time March comes around again. So nice and busy, and then like you say, push on 2024.
Well, Callum, just lastly then on that topic, for the people that haven't watched you, and maybe for the people who might not have an opportunity to even watch this Saturday, for down the line, what can they expect when they see you in the ring? How would you describe your style?
I, I like to think I could do a bit of everything. You know, I could counter punch, be aggressive, go on the back foot, go on the front foot. Whatever my opponent doesn't want to do, I like to do. So
Love that.
I'd like to feel quite adaptable, do a bit of everything. And entertaining. I think if you both my fights are on YouTube, if people go and watch them, I think they'll agree that they're quite entertaining, quite action packed. So hopefully a fan friendly style.
Well, just on that topic, you talk fan friendly. We know that in the small hall scene, a lot of it's sort of selling tickets, and it's a lot of close family and friends and stuff like that. Just a message to them. I'm sure you'll have a crowd that are always at your fights, no matter what.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I've got a good core support, which like I say, has allowed me to box 3 times in quick succession. It's all down to us buying tickets, so obviously it's massively appreciated all the support that I do get. Like I wouldn't be able to box without them, to be honest. So just got to give them a massive thanks, really.
Well, Callum, top man, thank you for speaking to us at Boxing Social. We look forward to your fight Saturday, hopefully catching up with some footage afterwards. And then, yeah, like you say, move forward, big 2024, lots of activity and pushing on to titles.
Yeah, thanks, mate. That's the plan.